I'm currently looking for 6 players to join my D&D game at 7 PM GMT plus 1 on Tuesdays. These are 4-hour games every week for $50. If you wish to join, send me a private message on Discord. There's a link to my server in the description, and you can bug me from there. Anyways, enjoy the video. Kobold, are we in the back rooms? No, it's just a yellow background, don't worry. Today I want to talk about super fast character creation for one-shot games for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and 5.5, or 2024. What kind of sucks about 5e and 5.5 is players who are not used to character creation with D&D Beyond or VTTs or that sort of stuff will take a long time to create their own characters. Or they'll be too lazy to learn the game or just create a character in general. D&D does demand quite a lot from the players. It is a filter. 100%. It's easier to just boot up a multiplayer game and just play that, you know? For a lot of players, even creating a level 1 character will take them like half an hour to an hour. Brand new players will spend like 2 hours because they don't really know anything. That's quite a lot of time, and that time could have just been you guys playing the game itself, if it's a one-shot. Think about it, how complicated can a one-shot be? The players are just role-playing, rolling some skills, and at most will have like 1 to maybe 3 battles at max. And then it's over. That's usually how these one-shots go. You go to the goblin cave and fight goblins. Someone is missing, oh no. You have to investigate where this person is. And then you find out, oh, they got kidnapped by bandits. Then you go kill bandits. You don't really need much for a one-shot. The players just want gameplay, you know? And importantly, they want to interact with the world to make it feel real. That's why they're playing the game. You don't need top quality cinematic storytelling. You just give them the game. Especially if they've never played a tabletop role-playing game before. Any positive experience where, you know, they laugh and have fun is gonna be really good. They're gonna have stars in their eyes. Anyways, I really don't think players need a proper character sheet when they're low level and they're just playing a one-shot. Don't get me wrong, they should have one, and they should definitely learn how to create one if they've never made one before. But waiting around for someone to make a whole character sheet takes forever. Let's just play the game now instead. Let's have the players right now wake up in the goblin cave and make interactions immediately and play the game. I'm going to show you how to make any decent player character sheet on a yellow sticky note in 5 minutes. It's super duper easy to understand. You're not juggling around these two sheets of paper. You're just dealing with a little sticky. Your entire character and all the important things you should know is on a post-it note. Welcome to Pack Tactics, where I love post-it notes. I can't DM without them. By the way, I should mention this. Doing this does require a little bit of game knowledge. So if you're a DM cutting corners in learning Dungeons & Dragons yourself, please don't do this. I really think that's terrible, which makes me hesitate on making this video. You need to have some player knowledge yourself. I'm not saying you need to play as a player more. I'm just saying you should have knowledge of how these classes work. And of course, you need to have the player's handbook by your side in case you're unsure of specific rules. For this video, we're just making a level 2 character for one shot in basically 5 minutes. Level 2 characters are fantastic for this sort of character creation because they have a lot more survivability than a level 1 character. And they have just enough resources for 2 battles in a one shot, and if you throw an extra 3rd encounter, that can be quite the challenge because of resource pressure. That's another thing with level 2 characters, which is they don't have a lot of features or spells. New players will be overwhelmed regardless, but with this method it's a lot more bearable to understand what they need to do in order to survive and reach the end of the one-shots. Instead of looking at 2 sheets of paper with tons of information, they're just looking at a yellow sticky note. Okay, Gator, what do you want to play? I want to play a warlock! Okay, it's a charisma caster. We write down +3 in charisma. +2 in constitution, and +2 in dexterity. And then everything else is 0.
Wait, we're not using array or point by or anything?
We use one of those methods when we make a real character sheet. This isn't a real character sheet. It's a sticky notes to get you to play the game fast. Now that we have our quick stats, we write down our proficiency bonus, which is 2. I've made it easier for Gator to locate things by separating stats and PB with boxes. Now we circle our primary ability score, and we're just gonna say we have proficiency in all those skills related to our charisma score. When we do this, we've already picked our 4 proficiency skills. Basically 2 from custom background and 2 from class. We don't pick tool proficiency though, this is just a one-shot. Now, if you were playing a different class like a cleric, we would have proficiency in 5 skills instead of 4, unfortunately. So this isn't a balanced method, but this is way faster than writing down your specific proficiencies on the sticky. Remember, this is just a quick character sheet to get you to play immediately. If you played a rogue or a bard, you circle 2 abilities to have proficiency in all those skills. If classes end up having a skill boost or a skill nerf due to this method, it's not really that big of a deal. Failing a skill check will rarely ever kill you or your party or ruin an entire one-shot. Skills in general are extremely overrated in D&D. Obviously they're useful and you should have them, but usually skill checks can be easily solved by just having a good idea or helping your party. Anyways, having the proficiency bonus written down as just 2 right there, and having a circle around your primary ability score is enough for quick skill selection. If your DM says, hey, make a persuasion check, then you know, oh, I have proficiency in that because it's related to charisma. Moving on, we're gonna cut a lot of character creation rules. We're just gonna write down the name of the species we're playing, and using whatever feature we can remember of it.
I'm gonna play a red dragonborn. Hurrah! I want to use my breath weapon. Wow.
That breath weapon is a 15-foot cone, and it's easy to remember he has fire resistance. When we've finished our class stuff, we might be able to put the racial stuff in if we wish to do it, but it's not necessary for the one-shot. As for origin feats, we pick one that's easy to remember, like Lucky, or Magic Initiate and pick up Shield. You don't really need to pick the cantrips, we're just picking up the powerful thing and moving on. At the end of our creation, then we can go back and pick up the cantrips.
Why did you put a 1 there?
It's just to remember that we have a free cast of Shield. We cross it out when we use it. Now for the class itself. So Gator picked a Warlock. We're just gonna give him the basic kit of Eldritch Blast and 2 pack slots for Hex. We'll also give him a melee attack with a dagger. Oh, and I almost forgot. He also has magical cunning, so we added an extra circle here. Straightforward, we're basically done with the class now. There is also the boon stuff, like we can add a Pact of the Chain and have an imp and stuff like that, but it's not necessary. We'll still give him the imp, and the imp can invisibly scout around the areas and what have you, right? We don't really need to put that on the sticky. Basically, what we just did right now is just hand the player the typical class kits. If the player was playing a cleric, we give them Cure Wounds and Healing Word and Bless. If they were playing a ranger, then it's Hunter's Mark and Archery Fighting Style, Good Berries. You get the points. Now for our equipment. I suggest putting that on another post-it note. But we do write down our armor class on our sticky. And there we go. We basically have a character. Oh, one more thing. Saving throw proficiencies. We just underline the ability scores to signify that we have proficiency in them. And there we go. We're done with character creation. Then from here, you can fill in extra stuff, whatever you have room for, like racial features and maybe even your pact boons and stuff like that. Spells and extra cantrips and things. And then you track HP on another sticky. There you just do 8 plus 2 because this is a warlock. And since we're a level 2 warlock, we add 5 plus 2. And in total, our HP should be 17. You could round the total HP to just 20 and then move on. It's really not that big of a deal. The reason why I'm not putting it in this sticky is because, well, you're always changing the HP anyways. So whatever.
Oh, easy. So we're gonna play the game right now?
Yep, you have everything you need in order to survive and interact with the world. We can just start right now.
Yay!
Just as a reminder, if you or the player have the time, you guys should make a real character sheet instead of this, really. But if you guys want to play the game immediately with ease, this is the best way to do it besides going on D&D Beyond. Anyways, end the video. Please consider joining my game. It's on Tuesdays. You have to make a real character sheet though. Each game costs $50. We're gonna play through Dragon Delves. I really like Dragon Delves. But I added a ton more extra stuff that's very influenced by Wings of Fire, if you're familiar with that series. And I made the campaign longer. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye-bye!